Kelee.
Yay!
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your favorite podcast. It's called Stop the Internet Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm your host, Kelee.
And I'm today's guest host, Rebecca.
I feel like you're co-host.
Co-host?
Right?
Okay, yeah. I didn't want to overstep.
Oh my God, no, you could just say host. I feel like you are just a host.
Okay, honored.
Yeah, she's Rebecca, the host, and I'm Kelee, the host.
Wow.
I love this for us.
Same.
I don't want to get emotional, you guys, but I love this podcast so much.
Same.
I can't believe we're doing it.
Podcast.
I don't even get the reference, but like, I'll say it. It's so fun doing the podcast. So thank you so much for listening if you're here.
Wow. We have a special treat today.
Oh, yeah, we do. We have a very special treat.
It's coming.
It's for us.
Stay tuned. Wink.
You haven't been here for a while.
I know.
So should we do a fact?
Wait, I thought about this the other night and now I forget. I think it had something to do with pickles.
Oh, do you like pickles?
Hey, this is really going to bother me because I literally was falling asleep and I knew we were recording today and I'm like, wait, this is going to be my fact. And now I can't remember. Okay, sure, pickles. I like pickles.
I do too.
And I actually just changed one of my prompts on Hinge. And I thought it was basic at first because it's like, I'll know we're compatible if, or like something like that. And then my answer is if you give me all your pickles.
Oh.
And I thought like that was basic, but it's getting a lot of action because everyone's like, I'll give you my pickles gladly.
Oh.
And I also like dead ass mean it. I'm like, I can't date someone who likes pickles because I just want all the pickles.
I sometimes think about that if you meet someone and you have like opposing preferences. So if you meet someone and their favorite wine is not your favorite wine, I'm like, that's perfect.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can have your own bottle
Yeah.
and I'll have mine. But if we have the same one,
Yeah.
I'm like, you're really going to drink mine? And then I think about that with like food sometimes too.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, you will have your own and you will never take mine. Like, that's so
Yeah.
perfect.
And a pickle is just such a quintessential example because every restaurant gives you one pickle.
That is a good example.
Yeah.
I recently traveled for my sister's birthday, and when we arrived, our whole group got lunch, and I received, I think, 4 pickles.
Are you the pickle girl in the group?
I feel like I'm typically not, but
okay.
I guess a bunch of people just didn't want them that day.
Who doesn't want a pickle? I don't
I
understand.
know. Here's a fact about me. When I was younger, I didn't like pickles, but I liked the taste of pickle juice on a burger. So you know how when you order a burger, they just give it to you with pickles?
Yeah.
I would obviously take the pickles off, not obviously. I would take the pickles off because I didn't like them at the time, but I liked the pickle juice that was left.
Yeah.
So for years, I would order the burger with pickles and then squeeze the pickle juice onto the bun.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then toss the pickles.
Yeah.
And then I did start liking pickles over time, but I will still squeeze the juice out. So it's like in the bun. This is so odd. It is so good though.
It's just a little odd, but I respect it because I just love like a briny, salty flavor.
Yeah.
So I'm like right now, I could literally eat a whole jar of pickles. I just always am craving salt. Okay.
Okay. We'll bring them down when our treat arrives.
Well, we should tease our mukbang too.
Oh, yeah.
Coming soon.
Yeah. So we're actually going to do a mukbang and we don't know what to eat in the mukbang. So if anyone has any suggestions or favorite foods for us to try, we're huge ramen girlies.
Yeah.
So we might do ramen from a really great place in Philly, but open to suggestions.
For some reason, I picture Taco Bell,
Really?
even though I've had it maybe 3 times in my whole life.
Okay.
But it just seems like a mukbangy spread to
I don't
me.
know if I love Taco Bell. Can we do
Okay.
tacos?
Yeah. Philly has, if we do it in Philly, they have so many places
Yeah.
for good tacos that is not Taco Bell.
I mean, we could try Taco Bell.
I just like picture it in my head being Taco Bell.
Okay, let's do it. Why not? Or we
I
can
don't
get
know
multiple
why.
things.
Yeah.
Multiple things.
Okay,
Yeah, so that'll be on our YouTube channel
Sometime.
at some point in the next year.
Yeah.
Okay, today we're talking about money. Money.
Some of you better buckle up.
Cha-ching, cha-ching, bling, bling, bling.
Yes. Queen. I got a whole lot of money in this.
Yeah.
You know that song?
In this mother effer. Should we jump in?
Money, money, money.
Let's go.
Make it rain. Let's start with the most controversial one to really piss people off.
True. I am going to be...
We're on one today, by the way.
I am going to be such a hypocrite today. Every time I talk about money, I become a hypocrite.
Same. I'm really gonna have to like check myself before I start spewing my opinions.
I just am so money driven, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I am money driven because I am freedom driven, and I want to be able to give back and help people. And I think that money is a tool, and it's a very, very powerful tool.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why I care about it so much. So do you need money to be happy? Maybe not. There are things that are free that will make me happy. But I think that if you have money, I heard a rich person say this one time. Actually, it was Casey Neistat. He's a really famous YouTuber.
Wait, yeah. I used to watch him.
I was like, I can say his name, right? Okay. He said, when you don't have money, every problem you have is based around money.
Yeah.
But when you do have money, you still have problems, but a lot of them can be easier to work through or something. Like, they're not about money. Like, you do still have problems, but when you don't have money, every problem you have is about money.
That's
what he was basically saying. And I was like, I could see that.
Yeah.
And it's such a privilege to be able to talk like how I'm about to talk about money, by the way, too.
Yeah.
I do not want to sound ignorant to anybody else's financial situation.
Yeah. Good.
But there are sometimes that I listen to podcasts where they're like, or where I hear people be like, $3,000? Like, this girl I went to college with one time, we were watching like Judge Judy or something.
Mm-hmm.
And the case, it's civil court. And the cases have to be within a certain amount, like dollar amount, or they would go to a higher court. But this settlement was like $3,000 or something. And I remember this girl was like, $3,000 is not even a lot of money. Why are they doing all of this? And I was like, $3,000?
To some people it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would think most people it is. And I was like, if someone stole $3,000 from me or owed me $3,000 in my business, I'd be going after them too.
Yeah. Same thing.
Also, just the principle, even if you don't think that's a lot of money, because it's like if it costs way more than $3,000 to like settle the claim, but just the principle. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So anyway, gonna try to be open-minded on this episode.
Diving in to cash.
Maybe this will be controversial. I'm like, I want to pick a controversial one, so we'll see if this one is.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for refusing to buy my husband an expensive car even though I have the money? My husband, 35 male, and I, 30 female, have been married for the past 10 years, and we have 5 amazing daughters together. Because of that, I dropped out of college, and I've been a stay-at-home mom for the past 10 years when we had our oldest daughter. My husband is the breadwinner, and I take care of all the chores and childcare. While my husband earns quite a bit of money, which allows us to live comfortably, he is also obsessed with budgeting, thus I typically only have enough for household expenses. For the past 5 years, I've been working on a series of books. I've been writing everywhere I could, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, and while I sacrificed a lot of sleep, I've managed to finish my series unbeknown to my husband. I've kept it a secret because he always considered it a waste of time.
Oh, I don't like him.
Oh, already. This is okay. It was tough, but I managed to get an agent and was incredibly lucky to get a deal to have my series published. I was ecstatic. And when they told me how much my advance would be, I almost fainted. It's much more than I expected for a first-time deal. It's in higher 5 digits. I haven't told my husband yet, and I had to borrow money from my sister to get an accountant. Ideally, I want that money saved up should something happen because I honestly don't know the details of our home finances or for our kids' future. Whatever will be needed, plus I love to have some spending money without having to ask my husband, Greg. However, Greg found my contract and he is now demanding I get him a new car for Christmas, a very expensive new car, which would cost a majority of my advance. I politely refused, saying that he didn't need a car that expensive and that money was supposed to be saved up. I tried to explain my position, but he wouldn't have it. He basically called me an asshole without actually using the word. He said that because he supported me all these years, I owe him, and without him and his money, I wouldn't be where I am now. He's told me that I either buy him a car or I have to start paying for household expenses half and half. The thing is, I would still be a stay-at-home mom. I don't know if my book will be a success. For all I know, this will be the only money I will ever get from my book because it'll flop. Am I the asshole for not wanting to buy my husband a car even though I have the money?
No, screw him.
This sounds like divorce to me. This is bad.
I feel like my advice is going to be more relationship based than money based.
Me too.
Because this is bad.
This is very, very bad. Okay, do you want to take it first?
Well, first off, like the surface level issue of the car thing, like, no, you do not owe him a car because it's your money.
Yes.
See, now my mind is going in so many directions, but I feel like thus far he's treated his money like his money.
Mm-hmm.
So you should treat your money like your money.
Right.
Because didn't she say, like, she only gets enough from him for, like, household?
Yeah.
First of all, that's messed up.
That's crazy.
So there's no reason that you should be so free with your money if he's out here hoarding his.
This is crazy to me because I've been seeing a lot of TikToks recently about like a stay-at-home wife or a stay-at-home mom, and then people will comment and be like, why are you buying this? It's not your money. Like, you're out here using your husband's money to go shopping while he's at work and your kids are at school or like whatever. And it's like, if you come to an agreement in your marriage that one person is going to be the breadwinner and one person is going to be the stay-at-home parent, that money is no longer the breadwinner's money.
Yeah.
It is equally both of your money because you agree to that arrangement.
Yeah.
And if you want your partner to stay at home and watch your kids,
5 of them.
yeah,
5.
that's a huge sacrifice.
Yeah.
So I saw a lawyer talking about prenups recently, and she was saying, like, obviously you don't have to plan to get divorced, but if you're planning as a woman to get married, you should have a prenup, because think about all the things that you're going to sacrifice to be a mom, to be a wife, or whatever. Like, you're going to have to sacrifice your body for 9 months. Like, obviously that's a goal of a lot of people. Like, it's not something that's just terrible. But that is a sacrifice, and you have to sacrifice time to devote to your kids while your husband is at work. Like, you have to sacrifice a career if you want to be a stay-at-home parent, regardless of your gender. So that money is not his.
No.
Just because he's the one getting the paycheck. They agreed to this arrangement. It is both of their money.
And arguably, her job is harder.
Yeah.
To stay home with 5 kids who are all young.
Mm-hmm.
People say that all the time. Like, being a stay-at-home mom is not a walk in the park.
Yeah.
And, like, I mean, the 5 kids thing, you know, obviously that's a lot of kids. But even if it was 1 kid, like, if you guys, like you said, made the choice, both of you, for one of you to stay home, then the person out there, you know, making the money has to understand that, like, it's both of your money then.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
You both came to the table and said, like, one of us is going to stay home.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't hold it over that person.
I saw a TikTok recently, and I don't know if it was a joke or not, but the girl was like, a day in my life as a stay-at-home wife. Like, they didn't even have kids. And people were like, stay-at-home wife, like spending someone else's money. And she was like, no, we made an agreement. He's going to work and make a lot of money, and I'm going to remain hot, and I'm going to be a devoted wife to him. That's the arrangement that we made. That's the compromise we came to. So I'm going to go and get my hair done, get my makeup done, go to the gym, go to Pilates. I'm going to look hot, and we're going to split the salary that he makes.
Yeah. If that's the agreement you both have, there's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. And I'm like, I don't know if I would want to give up working for that, but that sounds pretty great. And if someone wanted to offer that to me,
Pilates all day, sign me up.
Yeah, I'm like, no job, but I just get endless spending money?
Yeah.
Like, doesn't sound like a bad gig.
No, it doesn't.
I feel like this person's problems, though, are not rooted in money. It's not rooted in your agreement that you came to with your husband. I think your husband is an entitled asshole that doesn't support you.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the facts of it. Because if you have a passion for writing, like you do, and for the past 5 years, you had to hide it from your husband because he shames you for it and he belittles it. He makes it seem like this is something that doesn't matter, that will never bring you success. Your partner in life should not be shaming you for your passions, whether they make money or not. They're healthy for you. He should be saying, wow, babe, that's amazing, and keep doing it. Do it whenever you want, you know, as long as it's making you happy.
Yep.
Why is he shaming you for writing books? Would he be shaming any successful author for writing?
Right.
Like, they all started in the same place you're at now.
Right. What does he do for a living?
Yeah.
Like,
who the hell is he?
He probably works for, like, the banks.
Yeah. Freaking banks. No, that's crazy. I would be so mad if someone who is supposed to be my life partner, companion, your rock, the person you have to lean on, if they were just shaming me for something that I was passionate about, and something that's such a healthy thing to be passionate about.
And so much time and effort you put into it when you don't have time. Like she said, she lost sleep. She took 5 minutes here and there. Like, that's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
As a mom or just as a person.
And now, once you became successful with this passion that he ripped apart and shamed you for the past 5 years, he's not saying, oh my God, babe, like, I can't believe that I said all that. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I can't believe I undermined how amazing you are. Like, do you know how hard it is to get a book deal? Most people who want to be a writer will never get an agent, let alone a publishing deal with an advance.
Right.
So the fact that she made it even that far is something to celebrate. And he still thinks that he's in the right.
And he wants like a Tesla probably.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Like, instead of apologizing for being like, I'm sorry I didn't support you up until now. Like, how can I support you going forward? He's like, oh, well, I make money and we share it. So now you're making money. So it has to be shared with me. And it's like, she has supported you through your career, and that's why she's entitled to your money. You didn't support her through her career. In fact, you tore her down and discouraged her from following the dream. Yeah. So why are you entitled to that money?
And it doesn't even sound like she's that entitled to his money at all. Like, it sounds like he budgets to the point where she can have like a grocery fund.
You're right. Yeah.
But she's not out here going to Pilates.
Yeah. Household items is what she's allowed to have.
So this sounds like a very backwards relationship. I would focus on that.
Yeah.
But first, and then, something needs to change here. It's not looking good.
Oh my gosh. Wow. You know, it's easy for me to drop the D-bomb. Divorce. But I don't think I could live like this.
No.
And same. I feel like a quote that I've heard about money is that, you know how a lot of people say money is the root of all evil or money makes people evil? I think money just magnifies who you truly are. So if you are a really great person and then you get rich, you will give back and help other people and use money as a tool. But if you are already evil and selfish and you get money, that's just going to be even more magnified.
Yeah.
So
totally.
And if you're flashy and then you get money, you're just going to be even more flashy. So I feel like this guy maybe isn't the best guy in the world with the best morals, and this money is magnifying that. And I also feel like he was using the money as like a power tool over her before.
Definitely. He's insecure that now she has some power.
Yeah.
With her own money. That's probably maybe more than he has currently.
Yeah.
He needs to figure that out.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I don't like either that she can't talk to her husband, even about something as simple as getting an accountant or knowing how much money they have.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like, I really feel like him not giving you enough money for personal expenses or telling you how much money they have or whatever, like, this is a form of financial abuse, I feel like, because he's using this to control her.
Yeah. Definitely.
Which I hate. Okay, we're going to go get our treat and then we're going to move on to the next story. Wow. We're back with our special treat. Too bad the treat is just for us and not for our listeners.
Sorry, not sorry.
Unless you like ASMR of mouth sounds.
I hate ASMR, but I can respect people that like it.
We'll just push the microphones really far away while we eat. Okay. Or I'll eat while you're talking and you can eat while I'm talking.
Okay.
Okay, finishing the story, I just think that the husband sucks. And
he does.
The money is just what's showing you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cheers. Up next, is this going to be another shitty husband? I don't know. Am I the asshole for taking money from my wife's fun account to pay for my computer that she broke? Okay. My wife is a stay-at-home mom. She works hard taking care of our kids and maintaining our home. I do what we have agreed is a fair portion of the housework and all of the yard work. She has full access to all of our accounts except for my personal spending account. I put the exact same amount into her personal spending account, but I can only deposit, not withdraw. I love this setup. This setup is way better than our first story. I have a home office, but I do not work from home. It is just a place I can go and sit and catch up on anything I might need to from work and also play video games or play with my toys. Oh, I kind of love that for him. I feel like it's so important for people to have their own space in homes. For sure. And this seems so healthy so far. And he's like, it's not just for work, but it's for like me to play with my toys. And I'm like, King, go off in your own office. King. Okay. My wife also has a room that is dedicated to her and her hobbies. I love this so far.
We love a hobby couple.
Yeah. I have asked her multiple times to please leave my room alone. I clean it myself. I take my dishes to the kitchen and either wash them or place them in the dishwasher. I take out my own trash. When I play with my kids in my office, I clean up after all of us. When my wife joins me in my office for video games, I clean up afterwards. There is quite literally no reason for her to do anything in there when I am not in it. I do not have a lock on my door, but I do have my laptop password protected. I like to line up some of my collection of Lego minifigs by my screen on my laptop. I like to imagine that Batman and Spider-Man are watching me work. I know it's silly, but I like it.
Stop.
I love this guy. He's cute. Okay. For some reason, my wife decided to go clean my office. I guess she needed to move my laptop, so she closed it. Not all the way because my minifigs were in the way. When I came home, she told me what happened. The screen was not working at all. I had to get my old monitor out and hook it up so I could check and see if anything else was busted. It was just the screen. I checked and it would cost about $250 for parts and labor to replace my screen. So I decided to replace the laptop and use the old one with my monitor for the kids. It was fine other than the non-working screen. The cost to replace my laptop was only $600. Yay, Black Friday. So I took $350 from my account and I took $250 from the money I was going to deposit into her personal account for December, and I got my new computer. This will in no way affect our budget for anything other than our own personal side projects and hobbies. I was looking forward to getting myself a new Lego set to work on with my kids over the holidays, but now I will have to rebuild one of my old ones with them, which is also fun. Well, now she is pissed at me because she has to cut back on her fun stuff for December. She likes to have a spa day with her mom, for example. I said that I wasn't responsible for my computer being broken and that she 100% was. She said it was an accident and that I should forgive her. I said I wasn't upset, but that if she felt I should forgive her, then I fully forgive her, but she still has to help pay for a new laptop. Am I the asshole?
No.
Yeah.
I feel like she should help pay.
Yeah.
But he should not be so resentful.
I don't think he's resentful.
Or just like, I feel like this is like a man cave-y kind of question.
Yeah. I actually don't think that he's in the wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like if I went over to my friend's house and I broke something of theirs and it cost money to replace it, I would feel obligated to pay the money.
Oh, for sure.
And he said that it would cost $250 for the parts and labor to just replace the screen. So he just decided to get a full new one. And he was like, okay, I'm going to take $250 from her because that's how much it would have cost. Like the cheapest option would have been. And the rest he paid for himself. I don't know. I think he seems like a good guy. And I would just feel so bad not paying for something that I broke. I guess if it was my husband.
Yeah.
I feel like romantic relationships are a little bit different because you're almost in this partnership and it's a lot of times like what one person does, both of them are technically doing.
Especially with money, like people combine bank accounts and stuff.
Yeah.
But I also think that's a little bit of an antiquated way to do it. Like in modern day, I don't think people are out here combining bank accounts as much.
That's true. It just takes longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people like to keep their finances separate because it's like someone may have shady finances or whatever the case may be. So I think him pulling from her account isn't like a bad thing. I think, like you said, if you went to a friend's house and broke their computer, you would absolutely replace it.
Yeah. I feel like the only thing that might be questionable, what I kind of meant by when you're in a romantic relationship or like married and if one person does something you kind of both do, I kind of feel the same way with kids. Like it would be like if his child broke his computer, you guys are all family.
Yeah.
And if it was completely an accident, they shouldn't have to suffer just because they made a mistake or they caused an accident to happen. But I also know that a lot of parents would teach their kid that lesson and be like, well, I get it was an accident. That's totally fine. But in your life, you will make accidents. And accidents will happen. And even though they're accidents, you didn't have malintent, you're still going to have to fix what happened.
Right.
So I get that too. I get that she's feeling like, oh, it wasn't my fault. Like I shouldn't have to suffer because of it. But it's like, you're not suffering just because you have to give up one spa day. Like you made a mistake. You broke something that you didn't mean to break. That just happens in life.
Yeah.
And when you accidentally break something, it sucks. But sometimes that means that you have to give up one spa day in order order to fix the thing you accidentally broke.
And is the spa day really that integral to your well-being? Like, you can't miss one spa day.
Yeah.
Like,
and
you did it.
She's like, you're mad at me. And he's like, I'm not mad at you. I'm just solving the problem. Yeah. Like, we're just equally solving the problem.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like he might just be not including this stuff, but if everything in the story is factual, it's not like he's yelling at her.
Right.
It's not like he's telling her that he thinks that she did it on purpose. Like, he knows it was an accident, but it still needs to be taken care of.
Exactly. And that's on her too.
Yeah. And I hope that if he broke something that was hers, he would have the same energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think there's any asshole behavior going on here.
I don't think so either. Case closed. This pizza's good.
Mm-hmm.
Another marriage question.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for asking my husband about how much he saved towards a loan he took from me? Hi all. I, 33 female, have been married to my husband, 35 male, for a little over a year. We came from very different financial situations. I've never had any debt and have support from my family, while he, an immigrant, came here on a student visa and ended up with a lot of credit card and student loan debt. These are being charged at a very high percentage, so I decided to help him out with a low interest loan from one of my accounts through a bank. Privileged, I know. Anyway, the loan was supposed to be for 5 years, but somehow the terms were set to 3 years. My husband is supposed to be setting aside money every month to pay the loan at the close date. You cannot pay it monthly. Last night, I, albeit at a bad time, got frustrated that he was talking about spending money on things we don't need and expensive things for his family members' gifts. I asked him about this and how much he had saved towards the loan. He got upset and told me it isn't any of my business and accused me of ruining his night. I know it's a sensitive topic, but as the loaner, I do think I have a right to ask. He ended up telling me that he had saved as much as he could and that he was counting on what I had previously mentioned of taking out an additional loan at the end of the first term to cover what he couldn't save. Here is what worried me. I felt like he's living off this money with the plan to just continue rolling over the debt nearly in full. He's been buying me some expensive gifts and pays a larger portion of the rent, but I am starting to feel like that's me buying things for myself on loan. We're now in a fight and he has said no more paying a higher portion of the rent and no more nice gifts, but he'll return the money at term and no longer count on my support. I feel manipulated and hurt. He feels betrayed and angry. Am I the asshole?
No. Like, why is he buying nice gifts when he can't afford a loan?
Mm-hmm.
But I do think this is a common problem, right? Like, people take out loans to pay back loans. Or like with credit cards too, people take out more credit cards because they maxed out their other credit card. Right. But then it's just like accumulating more and more debt.
Yeah, and that's like the worst financial decision you can make.
Yeah, but it's like millions of people are in that situation.
Right.
So it's hard when she's not.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, are they married? Oh, she said they are married.
Yeah, they're married. I feel like what's hard about it, though, is not that he has debt. Like, of course, many people have debt from student loans or whatever. But the fact that he is prioritizing buying expensive gifts for people over paying the loans back, I think is the root of the problem.
Same.
And I get that you still do have to pay for gifts for people. So if he was buying reasonable things for people at a reasonable time, I get it. But if I gave someone a loan and it was affecting my credit score, if it was financially affecting me in any way, and then I saw someone spending frivolously while I'm over here working hard and giving loans, and yet it's hurting me, I'd be so mad.
Yes, but you also can't, like, think about how many people are in debt, and not like student loan debt, because that almost doesn't really count. Mm-hmm. But just like credit card debt or whatever. It's like, are you not supposed to go out and like do anything ever because, you know, you constantly are trying to pay off debt? Like, you can do both. I just think it's like the expensive gifts and like paying more rent, I don't think is necessary.
No, that's what I mean. Like, I agree that even if you have certain kinds of debts or loans, you are still allowed to spend on personal expenses. But I feel like he's overdoing it.
Exactly. And I think that's maybe to make up for some maybe insecurity he has about the fact that his girlfriend or his wife has more money than him. Do you think?
But maybe. And like also the fact that she's like, yeah, I'm getting all these gifts, but I'm paying his credit card debt off. So I'm paying for my own gifts. Yeah. I'd be like, this isn't you giving me a gift.
It's almost like he's trying to make up for it. Yeah, I just think he has some internal issues maybe to work out.
Quite possibly.
But like, she shouldn't also hold that over his head. I think there's a common ground you need to find here.
Yeah.
And you're not finding it.
I wish they were able to talk about this. I feel like they're spiraling a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why was the first time that we talked about this, like, why did it turn into a huge fight? And then she's feeling manipulated. He's feeling like he can't trust her and he doesn't have her support. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
We're talking about a question that was asked.
Yeah.
Or we're talking about an important matter that we have to work through in our relationship, in our life. Like, you should be able to talk to the person that you're married to about important life matters without it immediately turning into a fight and ending with, we're ignoring each other and we're in a fight now and he can't trust me and I feel manipulated. Like, why did it get to that point? Like, I almost wonder how well they know each other.
It sounds more of like a communication problem than a money problem.
Yeah. And it's like, make boundaries then. Like, instead of being like, you can't do this, like, try to find a common ground and be like, okay, so we do have this debt. Why don't we make a small budget over here for gifts and this budget over here for that, and then that will still leave you with X amount of dollars to pay off the loan in time.
Yeah, you need to sit down, come together, and figure it out, because right now you're acting like you're not in this together.
Yes.
Like, she's almost acting like, and this is where I'm not really on her side, like, she did agree to give him the loan.
Right.
So you are part of this, even if you try to act like it's his problem.
Right. Yeah, that's it. That's a hard thing, because it's almost like, if you give someone a gift, do you have a right to be emotional about how they use it? Almost like if you gave someone like a car as a gift and then they drove it recklessly and crashed it, like, are you entitled to feel sad about that? Because it's a gift. It's no longer yours. Like, you gave it to them and it's completely yours.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I would feel emotional about that because I feel like it's not appreciated.
And a loan, like, isn't really, like, I don't know. She helped him out.
No, it's not a gift. You're right. That's the difference between a loan and a gift. You're right.
Yeah.
A loan is something that's going to be borrowed and come back to you.
Mm-hmm.
So I do feel like she has the right to be annoyed or upset about it.
Yeah.
I just feel like you need to talk more.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like
of the story.
We need to stop blowing up at our husbands and wives when we try to ask them one question.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're on the same team. Just remember that. And people can compromise. Like, I feel like a lot of times in relationships, it's like, we disagree on this and now we're in a fight. It's like, why don't you disagree and see if you can find common ground instead of
groundbreaking.
Yeah, right. Instead of blowing up at each other.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I can't change my mind on this or like whatever. And it's like, well, talk about it. Talking does wonders.
Sure does.
Yeah.
Some of you should do it more often.
So true. So true. Wait, just like going off of that, you know how some people are like, people never change. Or like, you can't change people. I feel like you can change people. Not every person in every setting, but I do think that people change every day. Mm-hmm. Like, why do we think that people never change? I'm like, I am a completely different person than who I was a year ago. Mm-hmm. And especially who I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So people always change. Like, I feel like that's why I'm such a proponent of honest communication, because I'm like, people change all the time. And honest communication is the best way to continue to change for the better.
And change as one.
Yeah, change together.
I think that's why a lot of divorce happens, because you're not evolving together.
Yes.
And you're viewing this person through the lens of like, you met them when you were younger, maybe.
Yeah. Wait, I've been thinking about that. And as I like try to manifest my life and like a relationship and a marriage, one of the things I want to manifest is growing together, because everyone changes and people change their minds and whatever. And I'm scared that I'm going to fall in love with who someone is now, and then they're going to change into someone that maybe I don't like or that I'm not compatible with, even though they are now. So,
because like you can deal with that in friendships too.
Yeah, but in a marriage, that's so hard.
I know, it's so hard.
So I'm manifesting when I find the person that I'm meant to be with or whatever, we're going to grow together. Yeah. And we're going to change, and we're going to change our minds. We're going to change them together.
Some rough patches.
Yes, of course.
But communication will bring you together.
Yes, and that's just life, okay?
Pizza break.
Pizza break. Facts. It's so good. This pizza place slaps. Mm-hmm. Am I the asshole for acting spoiled over inheritance? My wife, female 27, and I, female 26, had our baby a couple of weeks ago. She came a little bit early, and my recovery's been harder than expected, so we decided to wait before letting people come over. My dad, male 57, said that he wanted to see the baby, so we agreed to FaceTime. My stepmom, female 33, invited herself on the call, which annoyed divided my wife and I, but we didn't have the energy to argue. Stepmom made a comment that I should sort out a will just in case my cancer from when I was little came back, which threw me a bit because it was their first time meeting the baby, and she was just talking about me. I said that my wife and I both keep on top of all of the legal stuff, and I asked if they had a plan. That's bold.
Yeah.
To be meeting your step-granddaughter for the first time, be like, by the way, set up a will in case you die.
Yeah, what?
What?
That is not tactful.
Like, let them live in the moment. God damn. Dad said that should stepmom die first, everything would go to him, then split between me, my nearly 2-year-old half-brother, and any future children, and left it at that. Then I pointed out that Dad is significantly older than stepmom, and he went silent. Stepmom explained that all of Dad's stuff and insurance would go to her, and when she dies, to her children. I asked if I was included in any of that, and she told me to stop being spoiled. I should note that this isn't some huge aristocratic fortune, but they're upper middle class and can afford a lot more than anyone else in my family. My wife and I are also solidly middle class, so we do all right financially. Then I asked if I could at least have the mountain bike. Dad used to spend thousands on bicycles, and there's one we used to work on together when I spent weekends there, especially as a teenager. We even made attachments so that I could ride it with my accessibility needs. Dad told me that he sold it on eBay to make more room when stepmom moved in. Here's where I feel like I could have been acting out of order. I said that it wasn't fair that his new family got everything when we still have a relationship. He said that stepmom's a stay-at-home mom and they're trying for another baby, while I'm planning to go back to work after maternity leave. I said that I'm impressed he's found a way to continue his streak of avoiding child support into his death, and hung up. Now I'm feeling like it was unfair, as it's his money and stuff, and he gets to decide what to do with it.
I'm a little confused. So the son isn't getting inheritance.
This is a daughter. OP's a woman. Her dad is 57 and married a significantly younger woman.
Right, okay.
And then basically if the stepmom, the younger woman, dies first, OP will get inheritance. But if the dad dies first, which is likely because he's more than 20 years older than her, then OP, his daughter, gets nothing.
Yeah, that's a little fricked.
Yeah.
Yikes.
It's giving gold digger from the new wife.
For sure.
Because why, if you were so family oriented and you were marrying this guy because you loved him and you wanted to be a part of his family and make a family with him, why would you be so anti giving his children some of his inheritance?
And why are you even talking about inheritance when he's only 57? He's not 82.
I mean, I get it because it's important. I feel like because nobody expects to die young, but sometimes it happens. But for her to be bringing it up, like, first of all, this is the wrong setting.
Yeah.
Completely the wrong setting. If anything, she should be like, wait a few weeks or months or whatever. And when this new mom is not stressed after just giving childbirth, maybe be like, oh, by the way, we actually were setting up our will and we heard it's just a good idea financially. It makes your life easier in the long run. So maybe consider doing that at some point. Not on the first FaceTime call you have with this newborn baby.
That's where it's giving gold digger.
Yeah. Like, why did she bring it up? I feel like she has secret intentions, but I don't know what they are.
Is she trying to murder the dad?
I think she might be trying to murder the dad.
No.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was an update in a few months and it was like, my dad mysteriously died.
I hope not. They better get on top of that.
33-year-old marrying a 57-year-old, not inherently weird, but if all you're worried about is your will, like, how long have they been together that they already set up this will?
I was going to say, like, at 33, are you going to be talking about your will all the time?
I hope not. I hope I'll be so caught up in the love of my life that I won't even be worrying about it.
Yeah, this is not good.
Let alone bringing it up when I'm meeting my new family members.
Yeah, this is not good.
This is not good at all.
Get out your monocle.
So, top comment, not the asshole. From what you explained, if mom dies, money gets divided between everyone. If dad dies, only mom gets the money and she does what she wants. All I can say is that's a very dumb arrangement, but nothing you can really do about it. Inheritance is honestly dumb and causes so many problems. I remember when my grandma wanted to give me $80,000 for my inheritance, and my mom instead convinced her that it would be better for her taxes to give her all the money, and she would make sure I got my share. I got nothing. Well, when my granddad died, I got $40K and my mom didn't get a single cent. I feel like this is another example of money makes you who you truly are. Like when a lot of money is on the line, selfish people will continue to be selfish and generous people will continue to be generous.
Yeah.
Inheritance is risky, but it's not dumb because it has to go somewhere.
And it should go to family.
Yeah, or whoever you love. Yeah.
But you shouldn't let it like ruin your friendships, even though it does.
I think that's another thing to keep in mind is like, yeah, it's annoying. And sometimes people make decisions about where their money will go and they're so stupid. Like the decisions they make is like, and what was the reason? Like that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But it's also their decision.
Right.
So if your parents or your grandparents wanted to leave you $5 or $500,000, it's a gift and it's up to them. And just because it's your parent or your grandparent doesn't mean you're entitled to it. So I don't think you're being an asshole, but I think you set expectations and it's not necessarily right to get worked up over them. But I see where OP is coming from because in her mind, this is demonstrating that my dad doesn't care about us as much as he cares about his new family.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how it feels. It's like less about the money and more about, oh, so you're just going to give all of your money to this brand new family and give us nothing. So that definitely would hurt.
It's really giving Cinderella.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yep.
You're right.
Yikes.
I hope OP doesn't become Cinderella.
Sounding like it might happen.
Yeah. Okay, so what's the advice? I think you could talk to your dad about this. I feel like if you went to your dad in a setting where it's calm and you can both be open-minded and talk honestly, the stepwife will not be in the room.
Yeah.
And you can tell your dad how it makes you feel. So don't tell him that he's wrong or that he should do this or that or whatever. Just say, it was brought up. This is how it feels. Can you tell me why you made that decision? And then maybe that will help both of you understand what to do next.
And I really think, like you said, she can't be there, the stepwife.
No, the stepmom cannot be there.
Especially if she's plotting murder.
Right. Wait, was it the wedding episode where someone was murdered?
Yes, the lake.
Yes, a freaking murder.
The lake.
For insurance money. Or wait, we don't know why.
I think
he murdered her.
Came up with that theory on our own. But it tracked.
Yeah. I just don't love the vibe of young person marries rich old person and immediately starts making the will. Just something about that doesn't sit right with me.
No, and he's not old.
No, he's not old.
Like 57,
That's
like,
young.
You shouldn't, like, you should obviously have the conversation about the will, like you said. That's important. No one thinks about it. But she's thinking about it a little too much.
No, I was thinking that too because also even OP is like, when my dad dies, like, I want to get the mountain bike. OP is 27. The dad is 57. Let's say he lives until he's 87.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you going to care about this mountain bike when you're 57?
That was,
Like, why would you even ask about the mountain bike? That's so weird.
That was weird.
It's almost like they're all planning on him dying, like, very soon.
I know. Is there something we don't know?
Yeah. Like, he's 57.
Yeah.
And she's like, but when you die, can I have the mountain bike? Like,
dude,
are you going to care about a mountain bike if your dad lives another
dies?
30 years? Like, if you want the mountain bike, just ask him for it now.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to wait until he dies for you to want it.
Everyone's focused on the wrong things in this family.
Yeah, wait, what is going on here?
It's not, something's a little off.
They're all like, oh, he's going to die and I want this and that. And it's like, he's 57.
Yeah.
And shouldn't we be using this as our like last resort?
Right.
Like I would be like scared to even talk about this because I'm like, I don't even want to like think about it.
Yeah, no. Don't put it out there.
Yeah, exactly. Bizarre.
Very bizarre.
I think you need to talk to your dad without the stepmom present.
Yep, agreed.
But don't feel entitled to anything.
Yeah.
Tell him how it makes you feel. Use I words. I feel this.
I words.
Yeah.
Bring emotion into it.
Exactly. That's an interesting dilemma though. Side note, how do you feel about paying on dates? Like who should be paying?
Is this offline?
I feel like no, it's online. It's very much online.
I always go for the classic like reach for my card move, but I honestly think I've been on one date and it was like a daytime date where he didn't pay.
Okay.
And at the time I was mad about it, but now looking back I'm like, it was coffee. Like,
oh, that's different.
It's different.
But some would argue that that's even more affordable.
Well, that was my thought process at the time. I'm like, it's a 2 p.m. coffee date and it's $5 and you're not paying for me. Like, okay. But every other date I've been on, he always pays.
Do you mean like first date, or like what if you go on like 5 dates, or you start talking to this guy and you guys go out together a lot?
Has the relationship been defined?
Mm-mm.
Then I feel like it's more normal to split.
Okay.
I guess it depends on his job. Not to put that card in there. But for instance, the guy I went out with on the daytime date was a lawyer, and he talked a lot about his job. So I just felt like, okay, you're making a lot of money. Sorry.
That's even more confusing because as a lawyer, you probably have so many clients and you're used to serving your clients.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
And I would be shook if I went into a lawyer's office and they weren't like, we have a coffee station, water station, feel free.
Yeah.
So it's like, I would think a lawyer would offer you a drink.
One would think. He did pay for the first date and was like actually adamant about paying.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's a situation.
Oh, was that a second date with the same guy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then what happened? You guys just like both went and got coffee, but you didn't pay with each other?
Mm-mm. He just like went, because we were looking at the menu doing the thing, and then he's like, okay, and then goes.
Oh, that's so bizarre.
It was so weird.
I don't even do that with my friends.
I know. No, honestly, like I've paid for friends, like
in
a coffee situation.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I got it.
Yeah.
No, it was weird. I did not go out with him again. Long story short.
That is very odd. Okay.
Yeah, and I was like really mad about it at the time. Now I'm like, whatever. I can afford $5 coffee, but like, it's the principle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if it was a girl that asks a guy out on a date?
Like
if a girl is like, hey, want to go get drinks?
See, I feel like I've done that too, where I've been the one to suggest the place.
Yeah. So what if you ask the guy out though? Like it's your first date and it's not just like, you're like, oh, we could go to this place. It's like, do you want to get drinks on Wednesday? And then the guy's like, sure. And you're like, okay, I want to go here. So like you're initiating the whole thing. Should the guy still pay?
Yeah.
Okay. No, seriously, I kind of feel this. Well, that one's a little bit maybe of an outlier, but I am so like equality, like women, everyone is powerful, like guys don't rule the world, whatever. But then I'm like, chivalry though.
Yeah, and on a first date, I don't think it's old-fashioned to want a guy to pay or like anti-feminist. Really? I just think it's like...
I think it's definitely old-fashioned, but that doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is. But you're being courted in a way.
But what if you ask them to go? Then you're courting them.
I guess it's different, like... living in a city, because sometimes a guy is like, do you know like a good place for XYZ?
But that's him initiating it. It's not you reaching out being like, then hey, do you want to do drinks?
I guess I've never done that then.
Okay.
But I still don't think I would pay.
Okay. Interesting. No, I also do think it's weird if, I don't know, it's always a weird thing on like the first couple of times you hang out with someone because you're like, let's just be fucking for real. Like, I know that you're going to pay. We both know you're going to pay. So sometimes I'll just be like, not that I go on that many first dates. I've probably been on like 3. I'm like, but I'll just say thank you. Like, I'll be like, thank you for getting that. I could say, oh, I'll Venmo you for that. And it's like, they're not going to ask you to Venmo if they're a polite person. And like, I feel like we all just know what's happening. So like, I'd rather just say thank you. But I feel like then when you start to hang out with someone more, I feel like even if the relationship isn't defined, but you're like talking or you're dating, but you're not like official boyfriend and girlfriend. You're dating because you go on dates and you hang out every week or twice a week or whatever. So during that time, I feel like I would feel really bad if they paid for everything.
Same.
Like I start offering to pay after like a couple times, or I'll just like put my card down without them like saying
even if
anything.
They like insist though.
Maybe not insist, but someone that I was talking to recently, they would pay most of the time, and then there would be times where I'm like, I feel so bad. Yeah. And I was like, I just want you to know that I'm not a gold digger, or like I'm not in it just for your money.
Maybe this is where my youngest child comes out, because I just like loved being paid for.
No, I do too, but I just
in any situation.
Yeah, I do too, but I feel bad sometimes if I care about the person.
Yeah.
If I care about the person and I know that they work hard and like, I don't know.
Because like I know I'm still a hard worker. I still make my own money. I can pay for it. I'm secure about that on my own. But like a man paying for me just makes me feel like I'm being courted.
Yeah, I kind of love it too.
But I'm like, doesn't make me not like a feminist or like whatever.
Yeah.
Like, people get so, like, bent out of shape. Like, I need to, like, pay to make a point. And I'm like, well, what point are you making, though?
I feel like when I pay for someone else, I'm not paying to prove a point. I'm just I guess, no, technically, if you break it down, it would be to prove a point. But the point is just that, like, I care about you too. Yeah. And I want you to know that I'm not using you for your money. And I'm not here just for, like, the free drinks or the free food.
No, I get that.
I feel like that's the point that I want to make is, like, I actually care about you and I want you to know that I'm not just, like, using you.
Yeah, I totally get that. And if I'm, like, serious with someone, I definitely think I would go half-seas more.
Yeah.
Or, like, pay.
Yeah. And I feel like it's different if it's, like, if you go out to, like, an activity almost. Like, if you go to, like, trivia with friends, I don't expect the guy that I like to pay for me there. Yeah. But if it's, like, drinks on a Friday night, I feel like it's different.
And a first date, second date, it just is different.
Yes, totally.
So.
Totally.
Side note also, you know those people in relationships that, like, when you're...
We have been shitting on people in relationships today.
All day. They, like, as a single person, their advice to you about dating is always like, just go, it's free drinks or it's free food. Yeah. Or, like, it's a free meal. And I'm like, you are so myopic. Like, I just hate...
Define myopic.
Like, not short-sighted. Yeah, like, you're...
Thinking about one thing.
Thinking about one thing. And I'm like, that's not... Or, like, people who are just like, just go. And I'm like, as a person in a relationship, it's easy for you to be like, just go, it's a free meal. It just sounds so degrading, you know?
And it's like, no, it's not, too. It's your time and your energy and, like, sharing yourself with a person. Like,
it's makeup, it's hair.
Exactly.
It's an outfit.
Like, it's an honor and a privilege to hang out with me.
Facts.
And
I'm honored right now.
Yeah, as you should be. No, if you think about that, though, I'm like, that's why I don't want to, like, go on dating apps and just, like, go on first dates with, like, all these people. Because I hear so many stories from girls that are like, oh, he was an asshole in the first 5 minutes and I wanted to leave. I'm like, that's my worst nightmare. Like,
that's happened to me.
Really don't want to deal with that. Because it's like, oh, I put on makeup and, like, I pay for it. I pay to get there. Like, I schedule time for you just for you to be an asshole. Like, that sounds horrible to me.
Yeah. I've, like, reframed my thinking, though, to be more about it's an experience and it's like a funny story. It's a night out on the town.
Yeah, that's
obviously
true.
If he's being, like, insane, I would leave. I just haven't had, like, that. It's an experience. It's a night out. So I've tried to not view first date fails as a fail necessarily, especially if it's, like, a slow week for me and I'm like, I have nothing better to do. It's a Wednesday. True. Even if he's not for me, like, it just was fun to go out and, like, go to a new bar, try a new restaurant.
Totally.
But I'm also someone that just likes doing those things anyway.
True.
So I think that factors into it. Like, some people, it's a lot to, like, get themselves to leave the house.
Yeah.
In a sense.
And I guess it depends on how far you have to travel and, like, like you said, how busy you are on the other days. Yeah. Because I feel like recently when I've been hanging out with people, I'm like, okay, I have so many things that I could be doing that if I'm hanging out with you, like, there's a reason why I picked, like, Tuesday night or whatever. Yeah. Like, I have other plans other days or I have stuff to do the other nights.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's a good way to think about it.
Yeah. Just to not be so pessimistic.
Yeah.
Because I got to a point where I was.
Yeah. I'm going off on a dating spiral right now. Or not spiral, but tangent.
We did.
I'm bringing this on a dating tangent right now.
But no, it was interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, the paying for dates is funny. You always see, like, videos about girls that are like, I do the, like, I half reach for my purse, like, kind of what you were saying. And it's like, it's funny that we have to do this when, like, everyone knows what's
Everyone
up.
knows, yeah. But it's just one of those life things, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, let's do an entitled parent.
Oh.
My dad wants money from a check I received. What should I do? I sold my house last year and bought a bigger home that my parents moved into with me. I'm 30 years old, just for context. Anyway, I had an extra $5,000 in my escrow account and my old mortgage company sent me a check in the mail, but they sent it to my old address. They then sent a letter to my new address notifying me about the check. I never got that letter because my dad opened it without my knowledge. After he notified me about the letter, I called the company and they sent me the check to the new address. Now my dad wants $1,000 because he says I wouldn't have even known about the $5,000 if it weren't for him. Should I give him $1,000? What should I do? I feel like I'm being greedy by not giving him the money, but at the same time, it's my money that I was using to pay mortgages and property taxes. I feel like he should be embarrassed asking his daughter for money, but maybe I'm wrong.
So he opened your mail and he wants $1,000?
Yeah.
Because he found out about this thing that he had no right to know about in the first place?
Yes.
Dude.
It's giving blackmail.
That is not okay.
I would literally be like, what? Like, where do you get off thinking you deserve money that is mine?
I'm interested to know what their dynamic is in general.
Yeah.
Because I do think for a parent to ask you for $1,000 shamelessly.
Yeah.
That seems like it's a little bit of a iffy dynamic.
But also her parents are moving into her house. So like, how are you going to move into your daughter's house and then ask her for $1,000?
Right.
Like, are you paying rent?
I'm guessing not.
Yeah, probably not.
Sounds like she's doing them a favor.
I think the dad is so entitled and you should not give him the money.
No.
Be like, it's my money. The only reason you knew about it was because we used to live at your address and now we live at my address.
Yeah. And you open the mail.
That's a felony.
Actually, it literally is.
Yeah, we need the gavel. Felony.
You took away my gavel.
Right to jail, directly to jail. Do you know that video of the guy that's like,
no.
Oh, I don't even know what his job is or who he is, but he goes, right to jail. He's like driving without a license, jail. Like all these like really minor things. They'd be like wearing black to anything not a funeral, right to jail, right to jail.
That's where this guy needs to be.
Yeah.
Jail. Yeah, no, he's entitled.
Yeah.
I don't know how you solve this though, because I just think it already sounds like your parents are like a little dependent on you.
Yeah.
So it would probably be a larger conversation.
Yeah. I would probably be like, this is money from my escrow account. Mm-hmm. It should have never been there. Like,
pretend you never saw it.
Yeah. And be like, I just think be so straight up and honest. Like, BFFR, be freaking for real. Be like, Dad, BFFR. Let's be real. This is my money and you're not entitled to it in this setting. Like, I want to help you. If you need help, you're moving into my house, but like, I'm not giving you $1,000 for absolutely no reason. And
yeah, what's he gonna do at the end of the day? Like, okay, you don't give him the money. He'll be annoyed about it for a little, but he'll eventually drop it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're so right. Like, what is gonna happen if you say no?
He's not gonna stomp into your bank and be like, drag you there.
No, that's actually like if he went into a bank and found money like in a drawer and he's like, did you know this money was here? Well, now you do. So like, give me $1,000 of it. Yeah. The bank would be like, sir, that's just simply not your money and you're not going to have any of it. Like,
calm down, sir.
I just think there's a lot of people, I don't want to say they're dumb, but I just think a lot of people are severely missing something.
The wires are loose.
Yes.
The light bulbs are not screwed on right.
But the wires are plugged right in to wherever entitlement comes from.
Yeah.
Because so many people
have a whole lot of gall.
Yeah.
I mean, I do too sometimes.
I hope I'm not like this.
No, I wouldn't do this.
Like, I just hope I don't. I'm sure it's happened, but I'm like, do I feel entitled to other people's money?
Oh,
like, I don't think so.
No.
Crazy.
Communication is key.
Yeah. Okay, another entitled family member. Am I the asshole if I, 39 female, lied to my brother, 41 male, about my financial situation because I don't want to help him? My husband, 41 male, is a farmer while my brother works in IT. He and his wife, 41 female, always talk about his cute little farm and have never visited it or asked further questions about it. It's not exactly a cute little farm. It's rather two separate, larger businesses with several employees which he manages and in which he also works manually. There are also properties he is renting out. I never talked or explained any of that to my brother. He never asked, and both he and his wife have made several comments that showed he is looking down on my husband. Never to my husband's face, though, if it helps. I am also cautious around my sister-in-law, who has a bit of a spending problem, and my brother, who always enables her. If you look from the outside, we seem like a normal, middle-class couple. There is nothing fancy about our cars, homes, or activities. Things went to a head last year for the first time, got resolved, and are bad again. My brother and his wife own a home and have a kid, 4 female. Due to excessive spending, 2 new cars per year, vacation and 5-star resorts each year, etc., they are financially in trouble. My brother asked me if I could help with utilities or the mortgage, and he told me he might lose his home. I lied and told him I wouldn't be able to, mostly because of their comments about my husband. I didn't and don't want to help. Also, part of me thinks that if they sold their brand new cars and would buy used ones instead, or even even stop the constant vacations, there wouldn't be any problems at all due to the amount he is asking for. I feel like an asshole though, as A, it's not my place to judge where they put their money, and B, we could pay off their home and cars and it wouldn't even put a dent in our financial situation, but I still don't want to. So, am I the asshole?
Damn. That last couple lines was kind of funny.
She's kind of a boss bitch.
Yeah.
She's like, yes, I can pay off your cars and your house, and I wouldn't even notice that it came out of my bank account, and I'm still not going to do it.
It could go either way here, because I like to think if I just had money coming out of my eardrums and I had a family member who was struggling, like I would do something to help them. But he's choosing, or they're choosing, to go on these 5-star resort trips to have these cars. Like, yeah, that's on you, sweetie.
I don't think the brother is struggling. The brother and his wife are just financially irresponsible.
They're living beyond their means. Yeah.
Exactly. They're only struggling because they're dumb with their money and they don't prioritize the right things.
In which case, no, I would probably not help them because they'll never learn.
Exactly. And they're spending frivolously and beyond their means. Like, yes, you totally don't need to judge other people for how they spend their money, but you also don't have to pay their bills when they fuck it up.
Yeah. Who was I talking to recently that was like, farmers make bank? And I was like, are you sure?
I think the people that own the farms make bank. Maybe like the work hands don't necessarily make bank, but if you own a farm, like the cost of eggs, milk,
but you're not
animals,
profiting off of all of that because you have to don't you have to pay more in taxes if you register as an agricultural organization?
I am not fully versed on the agricultural laws in the United States.
I'm out here acting like I know.
But I just know that a farm is a business, and
that's true.
Any smart business owner is making a profit.
I do think there's some middleman there that like ruins farms. I don't think I'm making that up. But anyway, someone said recently farmers make bank, and I'm like,
this farmer does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know. But anyway, I think they are living beyond their means, and they need to rein it in.
Yes. Also, if your brother was like the nicest person and he was like, go farmer, like, yeah, supporting you the whole time, building you up. And then he's like, shit, I fucked up. I don't have enough money to pay my mortgage because I wanted a new Tesla. I'd be like, okay, I can help you out this time and give you a small loan at this interest rate, and it's going to have to be paid back by this, and this is how much you're going to give me every month.
Yeah.
I would get it. But he is ripping you apart. He doesn't respect what your husband does. He thinks your husband is just some little cute farmer that doesn't know up from down. Your husband's a badass businessman.
Yeah.
He's killing it.
Yeah.
He's slaying, and you're supporting him do that. I wouldn't give the time of day to people that are trying to tear me down for my business.
Correct.
Facts.
Not for a Tesla.
So if anyone is out there and they're like, they just have a stupid little podcast, don't come to me when you can't pay your mortgage.
Yes.
XOXO. Am I the asshole for spending $70 from our joined account? My boyfriend and I moved in together about 3 months ago. Recently, we got a joined account for grocery shopping. The plan is we both put in $210, so we have $420 for the entire month. Ayy, $420. This weekend, we were having a movie marathon at my brother and sister-in-law's, and I baked a cake, some buns, and bought some snacks. We were running low on some staple things such as eggs, milk, and flour, so I bought this as well. I also bought some spring rolls for an easy dinner, as well as a big bag of dates that will last forever and be used for lots of stuff. It all came to around $70. Today, while I was at my brother's and my boyfriend hadn't arrived yet because he didn't feel like watching 4 movies in a row, my boyfriend wrote me a message with just my name, nothing else. He normally never uses my real name unless I've done something real bad. I hate that you just said that. Your boyfriend disciplines you for doing something real bad. Like, what? You're an adult. Anyway. Grow up and get a freaking grip. So my heart instantly started beating faster and I felt kind of sick. He then explained, what have you spent $70 on? And I explained that I bought stuff for the weekend as well as some staple stuff. My brother and sister-in-law are providing food as well as snacks and soda. He was going on about it being a lot of money and that he didn't understand how I was even able to spend this much. Has he ever gone to a grocery store?
Yeah, what?
I explained to him that the prices are crazy right now and that just the milk, eggs, flour, and butter had been $14. Oh my God, I would expect 14 for all
I was going to say 30.
Yeah. Milk, eggs, flour, and butter, all for $14.
That's like the olden days.
Yeah.
Please.
That's pre-COVID prices.
Yeah.
Okay. He then wrote that he felt that I was being rude and that I'm not respecting him, which I did not feel applied to my behavior whatsoever. I honestly feel like it was the complete opposite. I am now left with an awful feeling. My parents have always had a dynamic where my dad got mad at my mom when she spent money. I don't want this dynamic in my relationship, and now I'm kind of afraid that we will end up like that. I realize that $70 is a lot of money, but that's honestly the times we are living in, at least where we live. Am I the asshole for spending the money?
No.
No.
That's also really cheap.
Yeah.
I go to the store and spend $70 on just butter, girlfriend.
No, that's so true.
But no, I mean, it's all relative to where you live. But like, I just think also like having a shared account for a boyfriend is a little much.
Yeah.
Like, I get that you live together, but I'm just thinking like, I wouldn't even do that if I'm married.
This one girl that I know bought a house and then her girlfriend moved in with her, and they do this. Like, they have a shared account where they each put in a certain amount of money every month, and then they use that account to pay utilities and house expenses and food and all that. And she said that that works really well for them, and they're not married either, but they're just like in a committed relationship and living together. Yeah. So I feel like
their own.
Yeah, like it could work, but I don't think it's healthy that your boyfriend is like tracking your expenses every time you spend a little more than he wants you to. Yeah. Like, I don't think that's fair because half of that money is yours.
Yeah, and for the food stuff, you're both sharing all of that.
Right.
So like, why is he mad?
Right.
He's enjoying the cake and all that stuff too, the spring rolls.
Yeah, exactly.
Please.
And like, is he mad because you're taking some of that food to your brother's house? Your brother is giving you food too. I don't know. I feel like the boyfriend is just a little bit immature and maybe just a little bit selfish. Like, did he expect you to not contribute to the party, like the snacks at the movie marathon party?
Right.
And he just wanted your brother to pay for all of that and you to just pay nothing? Like, I think you're just being a good friend and a good sister and a good team player.
Yeah.
I don't love that your boyfriend is yelling at you for spending money, especially because it's slightly traumatic to you because that's what your parents went through. So if you feel that that's happening, you need to sit your boyfriend down, maybe at the kitchen table. Maybe it's when you guys are having a calm Wednesday night and you're like, hey, I just wanted to talk about the grocery thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have this agreement. I don't know, did you want me to run that by you first? Like, obviously, I bought some stuff for the house, some stuff for the movie marathon that we committed to. I don't want you to get upset, but I do also have to tell you that something that's important to me in my relationship is not stressing over money in this way.
Yeah.
Or not being yelled at by my partner every time I spend money.
Right.
And is there a way that we can avoid that? And if there's not a way that you can avoid that, I feel like, I mean, I wouldn't want to be with a person who yells at me every time I spend money.
No, especially not trying to act like 70 isn't nothing, but like, it could be so much worse in these times at the grocery store.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, she could have spent easily $200 and she went a little over that, that's not nothing, but like, it's also put things in perspective. Like,
yeah. And it's also one time.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you're doing this all the time and he's never said anything, or it's not like he has asked you many times to like give him a heads up when you're spending more, or I don't know, anything. Like, he's just going straight into being mad the first time it happens. Yeah. Like, maybe use open and honest communication for once.
That's
boyfriend.
Like our theme of the day, I think.
Every day, I think.
Every day.
Yeah.
Striving to be open and honest.
Exactly.
With people that are close to us.
Exactly. Let's end with a joke or something.
Look up dad jokes.
Dad jokes.
Look up money jokes.
Oh, yeah. Money joke pun.
Money joke pun.
Okay. Here we go, you guys.
Here we go.
Why is money called dough?
Oh, this feels like it's easy. No, I don't know.
Because we all need it. Need it. K-N-E-A-T.
As a baker, I should have known that.
Oh my God, you should have.
Damn, I'm a fraud.
Why isn't a dime worth as much today as it used to be?
Dime.
Because dimes have changed.
Okay, that was a good one to end on.
In parentheses, it said times. Like, times have changed. Okay, let's wrap it up. That was a good one to end on.
Yeah, that was actually funny.
Times have changed. Wow.
Haha.
I hope this episode was good.
Yeah.
We really ate pizza in the middle of the episode.
Yeah, we did.
We were on one at some point today, so I hope I didn't sound too crazy in this episode.
Same. No promises.
Yeah. Anyway, hope you guys liked it. Venmo us, Cash App us. If anyone wants to sponsor the podcast, we will consider you as a sponsor.
Gladly.
Yeah. Hope you guys liked it.
Love you all.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We love you. We appreciate you. And we'll see you in the next one.
Yes.
Bye.